Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about RFK Jr. Robert Kennedy Jr., who is our Health and Human Services Secretary. If you didn't know, he's in recovery. And in this article, and I'll put a link to it in the description for the video, he talks all about his recovery journey. And the reason I wanted to share this with you is not to make a political statement, right? I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, I just don't care about I don't care what your political beliefs are. The reason I'm sharing this story is to confirm, I guess is the right word, that the people do recover. Okay, they do recover. Now, according to this article, it sounds like Mr. Kennedy was able to make the decision to save himself. Beautiful, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the families that we deal with, we're dealing with individuals who are not capable of making that decision, right? They're simply not able to say, okay, I'm going to go to treatment at a clinically appropriate facility, and I'm going to stay long enough, and I'm going to take my medications, and then afterwards I'm going to work the continuum of care and do sober living, 12 steps, go to meetings, get a sponsor, continuing with treatment, continuing with my medications. They're not capable of doing that, which is typically a year-long journey. If they are, well, great. Then you don't need me. You don't need my team. So what we do is we empower families, okay? We give them the ability to make the decision to save their loved one because their loved one simply can't make it. Now, obviously, not everybody's like that. Some people can make that decision. It's really based on the individual, and more importantly, how long has this been going on for? What have you tried? What has worked? And more likely, what has not worked? And why hasn't it worked? Right? That's what we're here to do. But I wanted to share this story with you because, yeah, I mean, people do recover. I mean, not everybody ends up, dead on the sidewalk. I mean, to be perfectly blunt with you. So I'll share some of the story with you. I'll let you read it for yourself. But it says here, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. reflected on his decades in recovery from alcohol and substance abuse during a podcast appearance, admitting that he used to snort cocaine off toilet seats. And by the way, we had a president who's also in recovery. George W. Bush was an alcoholic and has been very open about that. And he's in recovery. It says here, Kennedy made the admission and spoke about his recovery on this podcast. Kennedy said he and the comedian podcaster met during recovery meetings, right? See, he's going to meetings. He's still going to meetings. And I will tell you, I've got a lot of friends in recovery, and guess what? Friends that have been in recovery 5, 10, 15, 20 years, guess what? They all go to meetings consistently, still, so they can maintain recovery. And I'll tell you, my wife and I took a cruise over just before Christmas last year. It was something we planned for and saved for a long time. And guess what? There are daily meetings on the ship. Unbelievable. So wherever you go, you can find a meeting. He says, I'm not scared of a germ. I used to snort cocaine off toilet seats, Kennedy disclosed. Like, if I don't treat it, which means for me going to meetings every day, it's just bad for my life. He's saying, I go to meetings every single day. Now, I'm not saying that somebody in recovery has to go every day, but he does, right? It's as simple as that. That's just the way he works and maintains his recovery. I make the bed every day. I do it because what I'm trying to do is to build character. The wealth you build is illusory. Long-term sobriety requires staying in a posture of surrender. Surrender even when things are going well. So just a really amazing, frankly, candid interview he did on this podcast. Good for him. And he's leading by example. So I'll put a link to the description in the video. If you are a family out there and you've got a loved one and this has been going on for years, which is typically what happens when you come to us, right, with a port of last call to try to help you to save your loved one. So if you want information about how we can help you, what options may or may not be available, both legal and non-legal, reach out to us. Okay, we've also got tons of resources. I've got a couple of ebooks. I think there's almost 800 videos that I've done now on YouTube talking about what we do. If you are listening to this video and you haven't found a video that talks about an issue that your family is dealing with, post it. I'll make a video for you, because if it's affecting your family, I'm sure it's affecting other people's families too. And I really, I want to make sure that you get the information that you need, right? How does this work in the real world? not what you read on Google. How does this work in the real world? Why would you even come to Florida if you're not in Florida for treatment? And we could talk about that too. So I appreciate you tuning in. If you have any other comments or questions, you agree, you disagree, as long as you're respectful, I'm happy to hear it. And I'm happy to go back and forth with you. If you like the content, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel. I put out a video or two, and I think today I'm going to do 3, so you can get the information you need. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.